Okay, so in their quest to become competent again, and that's not disrespect, the Raider Nation, you know I love you, the Raiders continue to try and just add players who should be good players. For Jack Bech, we're going to talk about it in the film. You're going to get excited when you watch some of this film stuff because it is very good. We're going to talk about it, but there is some really exciting highlights. I think the critique of him is this guy going to be a superstar? Is he going to be someone who can, win on the outside, things of that nature? And those questions remain to be answered. But really, I mean, it's pretty clear what Pete Carroll wants to do now, right? He wants to run the ball a lot and have a lot of guys who can work over the middle. Jakobi Meyers is already a guy who can do that really well, which is why I'm a little surprised that they're doubling down on that kind of player, because you also have Brock Bowers, who's obviously just awesome at everything, but tight ends tend to be over the middle, right? But clearly what the Raiders want is they're kind of just saying, let's just be awesome at something. Let's build on our strength. Sure, most people consider Jack Bech a slot receiver, and you already are great over the middle, but for the Raiders, I mean, let's just be honest. Offensively, they've kind of not really been great at anything. So to have a really clear strength, and again, you can build off of that, right? If you're great over the middle, what do teams have to do? They have to defend over the middle. They have to put more resources there. You can get more favorable matchups. Can they take advantage on the outside? I still don't know who you want as your downfield outside receiver. Maybe it's still Jakobi Meyers, who, maybe you have Trey Tucker doing some stuff there. Maybe you have Jack Bech doing some stuff there. But ultimately, quite frankly, I just think you're getting a good player with this pick, and that's why I like it from the Raiders' perspective. So, he was a player who I really liked. I really like his game, and while you can have the ceiling questions, I don't know. I think his ceiling could be pretty high, just in a different type of way. So yeah, let's get into the film. Like I said, it's some really fun stuff. So let's start off with the play you see on your screen. It's going to be zone coverage that he's going up against. Bech is the guy who I have circled in yellow right here. When this play begins, you're going to see that. So first, again, you have to, if you're going to be a slot receiver or just a receiver in general, you have to do a good job at these beginning portion of the routes, right? Don't give away exactly where you're going, and he certainly has not given away where he is going. But then when he cuts more over the middle, you see how, I mean, again, from not showing what you're doing to cutting and getting there quickly, he definitely has that capability. Now, at this point, you have a player who is, trying to tackle him one-on-one, and you might be wondering, okay, well, if you're showing positive plays of him, is he about to just run past this this defender? Well, no, he's not going to do that. Watch him just juke him out entirely, and he's going to juke out another guy, actually, and get all the way over here. You have another player who's surely about to tackle him, correct? Well, no, because Bech also plays a very physical style, not afraid of contact, and is going to gain even more yards. So, I mean, yeah, this is a highlight reel level play, but these are the types of plays that he can do. Something like this is definitely just what you expect from him, of just watch what happens. As you see, I mean, you see that cut. I mean, the way that he cuts is just so smooth. It's just, that's his biggest attribute. That's what you're bringing to the table. That's why you draft him, is for, his ability to do those kind of things. And yeah, I mean, it's really good stuff. You also have things like this, so this is going to be a man coverage concept, and the way this play is designed to work is essentially a pick play or a rub route, whatever you want to call it. The receiver closest towards the offensive line is going to run a route, just trying to get in the way of the defender who is supposed to cover Jack Bech. Bech will then run, more underneath. Bech, of course, being the player who I have circled in white. Okay, let's see what happens. So, quarterback takes a snap. Again, watch Bech, again, that smooth cutting, right? The not show where you're going and then get to where you're at. But I've already talked about that. That's not what we're showing in this video, really. At this point, there still are defenders in the area, right? Like, this isn't like a wide open situation. He's going to have to make a tough catch. And you know what? If you play the style that Bech plays, you're probably going to have to make some catches sometimes where there's people around you. However, that is exactly what he does, able to make the contested catch, holds on, gets into the end zone. I mean, again, it's great stuff. And again, I want to be clear, while these are highlight reel level plays, he does this consistently. He is definitely someone who, is just consistently going out there, running good routes, consistently when he has to make the tough catches, making the tough catches, all of that good stuff. A play like this, for example, where it's going to be a 3rd down and 6 one-on-one matchup. Hey, having a receiver who can win on 3rd down, obvious passing situations, That's very important. When this play begins, you see how Bech, again, going to get to his spot right here and ultimately is able to make the grab, gets enough of a window to, make this play work. So, we've already kind of covered, yes, those are things he can do. It still is good to see him do those things, though. At this point, you have a defender trying to tackle him, and watch just, again, the physicality that he has to be able to get out of that and get into the end zone for a touchdown. Again, it's the cutting, it's the making contested catches and playing physical. It's these things where you can make a Julian Edelman-like comparison with. And again, Julian Edelman, very good player. Some think should be Hall of Famer. At the very least, he is very good. But ultimately, this is what Jack Bech, there's a similar skill set. You can't say he's going to ultimately be that guy, but, he can at least show some similar thing. Now, I want to head over here at this point because all of the positives that I am bringing up, and these are positives that we should bring up, right? Because I'm viewing him as a slot receiver, and, he does all the things you want a slot receiver to do. Plays physical, cuts well, all that stuff. But ultimately, there are going to be times, even if you're supposed to be in a certain role, where you might have to do something that isn't your best attribute. And for Jack Bech, a lot of times teams don't want to draft a receiver if they can't do this, which is go route one-on-one on the outside. Can you win? And again, this is a really important play in football because teams might only want to have a single safety deep, meaning that the sidelines can be open. If you have a receiver who can take advantage of that, you're forcing teams to play two safeties deep, which completely opens up everything over the middle. Now, I don't know how Jack Bech is going to work in that situation, but I will say, on this play, you're going to see that he, is able to gain some separation with his speed, and again, because he can make a contested catch, is still able to make it work. Again, I don't think this is why you're drafting him. I don't think you're going to have him go out there as a wide receiver, out wide as a wide receiver consistently. But ultimately, it's nice to know that he was at least able to do this in college, right? He still had that quality in him. So ultimately, while yes, I do see him as a slot receiver, you can try and see what else you can get out of him, which I think is interesting. So yeah, ultimately, those are my thoughts on Jack Bech. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.